What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. I'm 24K Logan.
You can't run a gun, man.
And today we're going to be predicting the Dallas Cowboys record for the 2023 NFL season. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, both of us are Cowboys fans. We're originally from North Carolina. We've always said that if it came down to a situation where the Cowboys had a bad season and the Panthers were in the playoffs, we would be rooting for the Panthers to make it all the way to the Super Bowl and hopefully win. But of course, Cowboys come first. We're diehard Cowboys fans. Our father is a Cowboys fan. Uncle, the whole nine. Family of Cowboys and Panthers fans. So here we go.
They ain't gotta wait. Tell them how you feel about that, Prescott.
All right.
And tell the truth
I believe there's no other way to tell it. I believe that Dak Prescott is without question a top 10 quarterback. And I don't think that's a crazy statement to make. I'll give y'all some of Dak Prescott stats. So, for his career, 24,943 yards passing. His touchdown and interception ratio, 166 to 65. He has a career rating of 97.8. His best NFL season yet, statistically anyway, was 2021 when he threw for 4,449 yards, 37 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions, and he had a 104.2 rating in 2021. So, just by those stats, Dak is not a bad quarterback for one. And then for two, he has had 4 playoff appearances. His first was rookie season when nobody expected the Cowboys to do good that year after Tony Romo had gotten hurt. Dak carried the team to the playoffs along with Zeke Elliott. And he was this close to beating Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw an amazing sideline pass to seal the deal to send Green Bay to the NFC Championship. That was Dak's rookie season. Then we see him beat Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll in the wild card game in 2018. And then this past season, even though it was against an old Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's last game.
Yeah, his last season. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were very overmatched in that game, like without question. And we see what Dak did. Now, the criticism comes from the interceptions and how he threw interceptions in the most critical moments, particularly, and this is what made me the angriest, against San Francisco in the divisional round of the playoffs. We should have beat San Francisco. And as big of a Dak Prescott fan as I am, I have to admit, even as a Cowboys fan, if I'm being objective, he is the reason why we lost that game ultimately. Although the running game wasn't hitting on anything. But you couldn't have asked for a better job from our defense in that game. Dak had to be better. That was his comments after the game. I have to get better. I have to be better. And I agree. But overall, I do think that Dak Prescott is a top 10, top 7, 6 or 7 quarterback. I think he's right now, just because of how Jalen Hurts played this previous season, I would say right now at this very moment, Dak Prescott is the second best quarterback in the NFC conference. But he owns the Eagles. He's beaten the Eagles way more than he's lost to them. This battle between him and Jalen Hurts, not to make it a beef or a rivalry, a rivalry, but not a beef or anything, obviously. Yeah. But this rivalry between Cowboys and Eagles, and with Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott as the QBs, they have these high-powered guys around them, these skill set players. I think we're in for a great rivalry for years to come between Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts.
Every Dallas Cowboys.
I see you about to talk some nonsense.
I'm not about to talk. I'm just saying, because that is the only moment you don't like about that. Any other moment, you defending that man. Oh, quarterbacks throw interceptions and all this. All right, we're not going to poop on this man today. Today, we are going to talk about the record.
I'm going to go down the entire list. Right. So, week 1, we're at the Giants. I think that's a W.
I got Cowboys winning.
Me too. The Giants are no pushover. I think they got better having the addition of Darren Waller, Daniel Jones. As a Cowboys fan, I'm saying Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, and I think he's going to improve. I respect Daniel Jones. He's a Carolina boy like us, so yeah. But I think we will beat Giants week 1 at the Giants.
That might be like a either field goal or a touchdown type of game, but yeah.
I don't like to be a prisoner of the moment, but week 2 I have us losing to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Oh, I forgot he is on the Jets now. I feel like we'll beat them. We'll beat them.
I think we have a strong chance, but Aaron Rodgers has never lost to the Cowboys as far as I'm concerned. I could be wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, he has not lost to the Cowboys, especially in recent years.
That was with Green Bay. This is with the Jets.
True, but Green Bay didn't have that good of a roster last year, and they beat us.
You can argue.
So I have us losing to the Jets. That can go either way, but I have us losing to the Jets.
All right.
I have us beating the Cardinals.
Of course, Cardinals. Yeah, that's easy right there.
I have us beating the Patriots.
That's easy right there.
I have us losing a close one at San Francisco.
Yeah, because the last time we faced San Francisco, that was...
Although it would be good to beat them in San Francisco, but I don't think that'll happen, at least not in the regular season. I have us beating the Chargers. I think the Chargers will improve. I think the Rams will have a bounce back year, but I think we will beat the Rams. We will lose to the Eagles in Philly.
You got them losing the Eagles?
In Philly, yeah.
I feel like we can beat Philly.
I have us losing to the Eagles week 8 in Philly. I have us beating the Giants again, this time in Dallas. I have us beating the Panthers in Carolina. Hopefully we are at that game. I have us beating the Commanders in Washington.
That's Thanksgiving game, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have us beating the Seahawks in Dallas. Although Seahawks surprised a lot of people this past season, I wish them the best because seeing the Seahawks do good is a good thing to see, even as a Cowboys fan. I have us beating the Eagles in Dallas. See what I did there? I feel that we will lose to Philly in Philly and that we will beat Philly in Dallas. I have us losing a close game to the Bills in Buffalo week 14. I have us beating the Dolphins in Miami in week 15. Beating the Lions in Dallas week 16 and beating the Commanders week 17 in Washington, meaning that I have the Cowboys going 13-4 for the 2023 NFL season. Now, some people will call that crazy. I agree with
most of that list, I guess. So yeah,
some people will call that crazy, but I don't think it is because I mean, if I go through this list, I would say pound for pound from top to bottom, the only teams that really could go toe to toe with us: Giants, Jets, Niners. I want to give some respect to the Chargers, but I feel that we overpower the Chargers. Obviously, the Eagles, Seahawks, Bills, of course, Dolphins. I think Dallas definitely overpowers the Lions, even though I think the Lions will get better.
All right. Anything else you want to add about the regular season? Because I wanted to talk about the playoffs.
Okay. I think we're going in the same direction. So,
what do you think I'm going to say?
Well, I was going to say, what is a successful season for the Cowboys this particular year, considering the circumstances, considering the addition of Stephon Gilmore being opposite of Trayvon Diggs at the corner position, considering drafting Mozzie Smith, who was a strong defensive tackle at Michigan. And obviously Dan Quinn, our defensive coordinator, is coming back. And he is a hell of a coach. What do you think is a successful season for the Cowboys this season?
A successful season. All right, so for the past, I don't know, 10, even for like a while, I always noticed Dallas, the furthest they always make it is divisional round. Mm-hmm. A successful season for me would be getting past divisional round, going to the NFC Championship.
Agree.
That's what I really need right now.
I hate when they say Super Bowl because you have to crawl before you walk. You don't get to a Super Bowl without winning an NFC. You don't get to the Super Bowl without winning an NFC or AFC title. And Dallas has not been to the NFC Championship in 28 years now, roughly, or 27. So, if the Cowboys are able to get past the divisional round and make it to the NFC Championship game, even if we lose, I wouldn't necessarily be happy. But if it's a hard-fought game, the fact that we made it to the NFC Championship and we ended that drought, I would be not satisfied, but I would be like, okay, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Come back next year with the same squad and whatnot, same coaches, and build on what we had the previous year, then the Super Bowl conversations can start to heat up. But I'm not that type of Cowboys fan that says, "Oh, this is our year. We're going to Super Bowl." I don't do that.
You kind of do that.
No, I haven't done that in over 10 years, bro. Be real. When's the last time you heard me say we're going? You haven't heard me say that in recent years. I always said I predict us hard fought NFC title. That's what I've been wanting for the last 4 years, roughly, because I've seen how close we've gotten to that point. And I think it's the Cowboys. They're America's most hated and most beloved team. And so with that being said, with the star on the helmet and how much Cowboys players are in the spotlight, and you go off of the triplets dynasty with Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith, then you go all the way back to the Roger Staubach days with him, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, Tom Landry. You combine all that in the net worth of the Cowboys, how valuable the franchise is from a financial standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from a branding standpoint. That's why Super Bowl is so pushed on Dallas. It's not just Cowboys fans. It's the media. It's the history of the Cowboys and how beloved and hated the franchise has become. And that's why every year it's Super Bowl. There's plenty of other teams. Bro, the Lions have never played in a Super Bowl.
That's a lot of teams never played.
The Browns have never played in a Super Bowl. The Jaguars have never played in a Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These teams have never played in a Super Bowl. Nobody talks about them not doing that. But because we're the Cowboys and we haven't been to an NFC championship, let alone a Super Bowl, in almost 30 years, that's why we get talked about so much.
And with 5 rings, I mean, that's pretty high for your team. So.
Exactly. And also, if I'm not mistaken, actually, I know I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys, history-wise, franchise history-wise, the Cowboys' playoff appearances are top 5 all time. Top 3, actually. They're up there with the 49ers, the Patriots, the Packers, the Steelers, appearances. But that's why this Super Bowl narrative is always pushed on the Cowboys. But the last thing I wanted to touch up on, and this is what I got down in my notes and off the top of my head, this is what I believe is the key, or the keys to Dallas having a successful season, and even more so, at least making an NFC Championship appearance this year. I think for offense, the number one thing is balance the pass and the run game. Of course, we paid Dak Prescott a lot of money, and he has had multiple seasons where he has thrown for over 30 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards, and his touchdown passes to interception ratio wasn't that bad. Yeah. So they want to get him involved, obviously, and Mike McCarthy probably wants Dak to play lights out. Yeah. But as much as this is where it gets real serious, right? Mm-hmm. I respect Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard is a hell of a running back. The notion that he was better than Zeke, I think in recent years, especially the last 2 years, from a performance standpoint, yes, he has been. Pollard also hasn't taken nearly as much hits and bangs to his body as Zeke Elliott has. And we finally get to see a full season where Tony Pollard is the main running back. So, and
I did Zeke wrong, man.
Me too. I expect nothing but greatness out of Tony Pollard. But again, we're finally getting to see how he does for an entire year where he's getting the majority of the carries. Balance the pass and the run game. Use Brandon Cooks as a speed guy to create separation and to, I'm not going to say take more pressure off of CeeDee Lamb, but obviously CeeDee Lamb is our number one receiver. I think he's top 7, top 6, arguably top 5. But people are going to want to double team CeeDee. You double team CeeDee, you got a speed guy in Brandon Cooks. That makes it more difficult. Then Michael Gallup, hopefully Michael Gallup gets back to the 2017-2018 version of Michael Gallup, where he's our go-getter deep ball receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you with Parsons?
Okay, so I'll be going to get to the defensive side. So, Michael Parsons has very quickly become my favorite player on the Cowboys. maybe my favorite player in the NFL. Definitely amongst my 5 most favorite. Maybe my 3, right? Okay, so key players or star players on offense. I'm not including Dak. I'm including the guys around him because those are the skill players, obviously. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Tony Pollard, right? You have those guys with Dak. We easily have definitely a top 10 offense in the league. Yeah. And depending on how they perform together, top 5, right? Defense, Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore opposite of Trayvon Diggs, Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Leighton Vander Esch, who are veterans and have been in the playoffs multiple times with Dallas. You know what I'm saying? These guys are the ones that we need the most. The guys that I just named on defense especially. I expect the defense to only get better after the addition of Stephon Gilmore and Dan Quinn coming back. Pick back up where they left off. Improve on the interior run game, or not the interior run game, but improve on our interior defensive line with Mozzie Smith from Michigan so that we can be better against the run, make more opportunities for our linebackers and our safeties, make things easier on the entire defense and a better defense overall. And not to mention with Micah Parsons, with DeMarcus Lawrence, and then even our safeties and the rest of our linebackers can blitz the quarterback. Yeah. Dallas has easily a top 3, top 5 pass rush in the NFL.
Yeah. And what do you think about the defense in the NFL? What we rank them?
Based off of last season or just in general?
As of right now.
Top 5. Altogether, top 5 defense, without question. And Stephon Gilmore just added to that argument even more. But yeah, I got Dallas going 13-4. I'm hoping NFC Championship appearance. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say Super Bowl. Like I said, I'm not that type of Cowboys fan that does that.
But NFC appearance be so amazing, though.
It really would.
I'd be excited that day.
It really would. I would love to see that for Dak. And just the whole Cowboys organization in general. Yeah. We appreciate y'all for watching. We're sorry that we haven't been uploading that much sports content, but with football season being back on its way and us being huge football fans, expect more football content from us and just sports content altogether. We appreciate y'all for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe button, it helps us out. And as always, peace and love to everybody.